Apple's quietest business, is now its most profitable. $96 billion. That's what Apple's services segment generated in fiscal year 2024, more annual revenue than Coca-Cola, McDonald's, and Nike combined in a single year. And here is the part Apple does not put in a keynote. On a gross profit basis, services is now closing in on the iPhone itself. The product that built the company is being quietly overtaken by everything that runs on top of it. The phone in your pocket is no longer the most valuable thing Apple sells you. The bills that follow it are. When most people picture Apple, they picture an iPhone. That makes sense. In fiscal 2024, the iPhone still brought in about $201 billion in revenue, more than half of the company's total sales. But revenue is only half of the story. The other half is what it costs Apple to produce that revenue. iPhones are physical objects. They need glass, aluminum, processors, factories, freight, packaging, and a global retail network just to land them in your hands. Apple's hardware gross margin sits in the high 30s. Services don't need any of that. The App Store, iCloud storage, Apple Music, Apple TV+, AppleCare, advertising, payments through Apple Pay. Almost none of those have a meaningful marginal cost per extra customer. Once the platform exists, every additional dollar of subscription is nearly pure profit. That gap is why, over the last 5 years, Wall Street stopped asking how many phones Apple sold each quarter and started asking how many people pay Apple every single month. The unit of measurement changed. And once the unit of measurement changes, the entire valuation story changes with it. Apple's services segment is not one product. It is a stack of 7 money channels, and almost all of them depend on the device sitting in your pocket right now. Channel 1 is the App Store, where Apple takes a 15 to 30% cut of every paid app, subscription, and in-app purchase that flows through iOS. Channel 2 is search advertising. Google reportedly pays Apple around $20 billion a year, every single year, to remain the default search engine on Safari. That single contract is more than the entire annual revenue of Spotify, exposed publicly during the U.S. Department of Justice antitrust trial against Google. Channel 3 is iCloud storage, which kicks in the moment your free 5 gigabytes fills up, usually within the first year of ownership. Channel 4 is the entertainment bundle. Apple Music, Apple TV+, Arcade, News+, Fitness+, all sold individually and repackaged inside the Apple One bundle. Channel 5 is AppleCare, the warranty extension, often billed monthly, so it stops looking like a one-time decision. Channel 6 is Apple Pay and the Apple Card, which take a small slice of transactions and partnership fees from Goldman Sachs. And Channel 7 is licensing, the unseen patent and platform fees other companies pay just to operate inside the Apple ecosystem. None of those require a new factory in Zhengzhou. They require a customer who already bought the phone. Here is where the story flips. Apple's 10K filing reports 2 gross margin lines, side by side, every quarter. Products, meaning hardware, landed at roughly 37% in fiscal 2024. Services landed at roughly 74%. That is exactly double. Run the math out loud. $201 billion of iPhone revenue at a 37% margin is about $74 billion of gross profit. $96 billion of services revenue at a 74% margin is about $71 billion of gross profit. $3 billion apart. For comparison, when the iPhone first launched in 2007, the services line was a footnote, less than $2 billion in annual revenue. Today, services alone generates more gross profit than the total annual revenue of most Fortune 500 companies. And services is growing every year while iPhone unit sales have effectively plateaued. Public analyst notes from firms like Morgan Stanley and Bernstein have projected that services gross profit will exceed iPhone gross profit within the next 2 fiscal years. That is the milestone the title is pointing at, not the revenue line, the profit line. And on the profit line, the iPhone is being passed by the things that live on top of it. Apple now reports more than 1 billion paid subscriptions across its ecosystem. That number came directly from CEO Tim Cook on the FY 2024 earnings call, and it roughly doubled in just 4 years. The average iPhone user in the United States is now paying Apple every single month, even when they are not buying anything from Apple directly. Walk through it. iCloud Plus storage, $2.99. Apple Music, $10.99. Apple TV Plus, $9.99. AppleCare on a Pro model, around $12 a month, billed quietly to your card. Add a family plan or the Apple One bundle, and you are landing at roughly $38 a month, or about $450 a year, on top of the phone itself, every year, forever. Now spread that across nearly 2.5 billion active Apple devices worldwide, and you can see the engine. The iPhone is the front door. The recurring fees are the rent. And rent is exactly what investors pay a premium multiple for, because rent is what does not stop when the upgrade cycle slows down, when the consumer skips a generation, when the global phone market goes flat. That is why the services line, the line nobody puts on a keynote slide, may be the single most important number in Apple's entire business. Apple did not get less hardware-focused. Apple got better at turning the hardware you already own into a billing relationship, one that quietly compounds month after month. That is the real story behind the services line, and it is exactly why Wall Street rewards Apple with a software-style valuation on top of a hardware company. If this changed how you see what you are actually paying for, subscribe to Curious Money. Next up, we are breaking down the Starbucks devaluation pattern, the quiet way loyalty points get watered down right before you spend them. New videos every week, no fluff.